What's going on, y'all? Carlito here, back with another video on your screen. This is the biggest interview I ever did, next to interviewing pro champs. And big shout out to Franco, Bam, and Robert Garcia, RGBA. Honor, complete honor, bro. And I really do appreciate you. And thank you for taking time out of your day to talk to me.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And how are you doing? How's everything going?
Everything's going good. Came back home and back to the gym. We have 4 fighters fighting in 2 weeks from tomorrow. Well, actually from today. Yeah, March 4th in Fresno, California. So yeah, we have to get back to work right away.
Wow, for sure. So what being a pro boxer and then now being, one of the best trainers and coaches, that there is, how did that transition, how tough was that transition for you?
Well, you know what? When I retired boxing, I was 26 years old, and I was tired of the sport. I was sick of the sport. People from outside don't see how boxing is, and boxing is a very difficult sport, especially for a boxer that the cutting weight, that the sacrifices a boxer has to do to prepare for a fight, training camps and all that. It's not easy, but there's also so many politics involved when it comes to managements, promoters. There's so much. The business is, I could say, pretty dirty. So I got sick of the sport, and when I retired, I thought I would never get back to boxing for nothing. But at that time, my dad was still running the amateur program, the La Colonia Boxing Gym in Oxnard, California. Mm-hmm. So he invited me to come over just to help him out with the kids, with the amateurs. And I started helping him out with amateurs. And then a few months later, he told me if I wanted to give it a try with some pros. And 2 pros that he had at that time were actually, and still are, 2 of my best friends. He told me, why don't you take over these guys and see how you like training professional fighters. So I started doing it. And the main thing, training them, mm-hmm. The main thing that I liked and caught my attention was traveling without having to be on weight, without having to go to bed early, staying in the room all day, couldn't go anywhere. So traveling with these fighters and getting to know the cities a little bit better than when I was fighting. When you're fighting, you're cutting weight and you're in your room, then you fight, next day in the morning, you're flying home. So the traveling was like the main thing that caught my attention. So I started falling in love with it, but it was because of the traveling. Now that I've had quite a few world champions and world class fighters, well, it just, now, I love the sport again. Now that I manage my own fighters. Mm-hmm. I don't do what other managers do when it comes to taking the whole percentages and working out deals with the promoters and stuff like that. I open up everything for my fighters. They know exactly what's going on, and I take a lot less money than what a regular manager does. So the fighters are happy, the team is happy, the parents are happy. So that's how I got started, and that's why I do it. That's why I do it also, because I remember having to pay 40% of my purse, and they used to have to pay the IRS. So it turns out to be less than half of what you get paid, and it sucks. It sucks to get a nice check, but less than half is not even yours.
Wow, that's massive. I always heard the inside stuff about boxing and stuff like that, and how the sport works out on the inside. And that's crazy to hear it from you, though. Like, exactly, like a lot of the stuff I've been hearing, but the way you came up, that's real good.
All the way, are we going out tonight? All the way, I'ma chug the bottle, chug it all the way. Made it this far.